Epic Land, welcome to your main event of the weekend. It's the CS2 Finals! My name is Rhino. I'm joined on stage by Felix, and we will be taking you through everything going on with this game that's about to happen. Felix, you've been working with our CS2 team, casting a couple of the games. How's the event been?
Yeah, it's been some long shifts, but I've been enjoying it every second. Plenty of Counter-Strike, all fitted into one tournament. But yeah, I've been seeing some high-level stuff. Some teams have been really impressive that I didn't expect too much from. Yeah, I've been really happy with the show so far.
Absolutely, and we've got a brilliant final coming up. We're not going to give the names yet, even though everyone already knows them. We'd like to give them their proper introductions, but these going into the tournament were kind of two of the favorites coming into this one, right?
For sure, I think this final does make sense. I will have to shout out one more time the Control Esports. They've been doing an amazing job. Both teams had to go through them to get here. But yeah, this is the expected conclusion of the tournament, and we'll have to see how it progresses.
Here we go then, Felix. It's time to get the teams onto the stage. EPIC47, it's the final event of EPIC47. Let me hear you make some noise! Introducing first, Artist is the final boss of this event. Can he take it home for a multitude of times? Please welcome to the stage, The Last Resort! Felix, TLR feel like they've been unstoppable through the bracket. It's just one win after another, but they aren't invincible.
Absolutely not. It's not like they've never lost a map, but if you've been watching the past few epics and you've been around, you know Artist, he's no stranger to winning epic lands. He's probably quite comfortable right now on this stage, but yeah, he's still going to have to try.
He is going to have to try because the foes that he plays are very, very familiar to him. It feels like they're always the bridesmaid, but never the bride, looking to turn their fortunes around here on the EPIC47 stage. Make some noise for 8sins! Felix, 8sins have been around the block and back again, a little bit of on-stage experience from them as well. But when you're going against a team that you have kind of faced a few times and just not been able to get that victory on them, it can take a mental toll.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be really, really hungry for this one. I've got a quote from the man Artist himself, so take it with a grain of salt, but I believe he's played against these players about 15 times. Prime's only beaten him once, but might have to fact check that one. But yeah, they're going to be looking for another win against Artist and put a stop to his dominance and overcome the final boss of Epic Land.
It very much does feel like Artist versus 8sins is a storyline that we see here at Epic quite a lot, but it's one that we've actually not seen for a few times because I believe the last two times there was an international roster who won the event. We've got to go back to EPIC44 for the last time a UK team won this event. Now, of course, on stage, we will have a UK team win it this time. The question is which one, and I want to know, Felix, where's your mind at as far as these two teams going?
I mean, I've seen some great CS out of both of these guys. Artist, especially, has been looking incredibly dangerous on the big green. But you know what? 8sins played some incredible CS this morning. They're going to be warmed up for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have been told that we are ready to go now for this grand final. EPIC47, once again, please make some noise for your CS2 final! Your casters are Shin and OneWing. Take it away, chaps.
Thank you, Rhino, and thank you, Felix. Let's hear it one more time for our wonderful host. They've been killing it all weekend, just like the teams have been in the server. The Last Resort up against 8sins. It feels like a rivalry that's as old as time.
It really is. It goes back a long way, and I could not be more excited to be watching the showdown once again from behind the booth, watching these boys on stage do what they do best.
Yeah, 8sins as an organisation, they have always seemed to come up short against Artist and Co, whatever moniker they go under. Obviously, you think back to that grand final of EPIC 44, it was the team then known as Alaska up against the previous 8sins roster, and it was a very close affair, but of course Artist came out on top, Extinct as well. A roster that's been together for a very long time, and as mentioned by Rhino, so many trophies, so many Epic Land titles, and that is something for the most part that 8sins are lacking.
Indeed, they are, and the map veto has been out, and it's one that we probably expected. Overpass to kick us underway, followed by a nuke and Ancient if we need it. Something tells me we might not need to go the entire way, but I can only hope we do. I've been having a very good time following the TLR boys on their journey here to Epic Land, and I have to say they've been looking very, very good. So we're going to have to see the best versions of 8sins today.
Oh, we absolutely are, but you think back a few months when 8sins picked up this former Drip Men roster. They picked them up because they know they have the capability to take down the unstoppable juggernaut. You think back to the UKIC Masters Finals, that best of 5, Drip Men shocking the UK and coming out on top. Let's not talk about the rematch where Artist and Friends got their revenge, but it is a very fiery affair, and it is one I'm very much looking forward to. Obviously, we will be kicking things off on Overpass, which will be the pick of 8sins. That's a very key map, because that is a map dictated by the AWP, and we have 2 very talented AWP IGLs on the server.
Indeed we do. I mean, Fraser, obviously, having played the 9 a.m. game today, he's looking very warm, and he was having a very good time on the server. So it's going to be an interesting battle to see how he fares against Artis, who is simply not normally, because who can put a stop to this man here at Epic Land? Clearly nobody. So you have to think, what can Fraser do?
Yeah, but you did bring up a key point. 8sins came through the lower bracket. They played the 9 a.m. game this morning. The past 3 Epic Lands, the team that played the 9 a.m. went on to win the whole thing. Oof. That was the Alaska roster that we mentioned earlier, Iberian Soul, and of course Nemesis last time out, all came through that 9 a.m. game. Maybe it's something they get a little bit more warmed up and they get into the server a lot quicker. But with the experience that TLR have, surely that factor may be mitigated somewhat.
You're not wrong. So you have to think about it. Is fate going to be on their side? I mean, they might need something a little bit out from the server to give them that boost, because, as you said, the experience and just what they're capable of doing on the server for TLR, I mean, it's next level. And I mean, they're doing it in advance right now, 7-1. Beating the teams such as Late Unity and Hyperspair on their way to here at Epic Land, and they've been doing it in very comfortable fashion. I mean, I can only think from the likes of Beve, Artist, Vacancy, always putting up huge numbers against these teams, and they've been doing it here as well. So it's not also the experience, but the fact is consistency will be key, and delivering it on stage is different compared to the LAN hole, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously they have been so consistent all tournament long, only dropping a single map to control in that upper bracket final. 8sins, it's the polar opposite, unfortunately. They have had a little bit of inconsistency. Losing in that upper bracket first round, they have had to run the whole gauntlet, and it has been a stacked lower bracket. The teams they've had to overcome, Coalesce, Control, some of the top seeded teams in this tournament. But now they face the final boss. But it will be on home turf for them to kick things off. Overpass, TLR starting on the CT side, and 8sins getting us underway.
Indeed, they will. They will be on the offense here. TLR on the CT side, and it's a slow start to kick us off here.
Yeah, very spread out thus far by 8sins. Hoping for a little bit of an overextension out of TLR, but very disciplined thus far. Bit of a waiting game. Who dares blink first? Vacancy searching on the jiggle. A lot of responsibility being put on his shoulders in this moment in time. We do unfortunately have a little tech issue with the audio. Our production team are working on getting that sorted as soon as possible. But for now, what matters is what's going down in the server. And look at this little crawl. I don't think TLR have been expecting this whatsoever, but Artist there with a quick adjustment draws first blood here in the grand final against his opposite number. And there is Vacancy. The B defender gets 2 before going down, and now 8sins are in a 2 versus 4 disadvantage, and the rotates are coming in from TLR, but Prime will mop up Bev.
Yeah, the bomb's going to go down here, and he's actually not even going to be able to get it down as he gets killed. So he's already on Tornix by the pillar.
Yeah, the new addition to this roster. Third place last time out for him with that prestige roster. He's already made it one step further, but if he can make it two, that would be big for 8sins, but they're going to have to do it from behind to kick things off immediately. Pistol round does go the way of the last resort.
Yeah, that was a lovely hold from Vacancy that we saw there. He needed to at least get one, but he got two as well. So that just puts less pressure on the shoulders of his teammates as they rotate back down onto the bomb site and keep control of it. So that's the start you want to see. But as you always mention to me, it's all about the conversion, isn't it?
It is a lot about the conversion. There is no point winning the pistol round if you lose the second one, because that just puts you in an even worse position economically. You're going to have to fight from behind. You have to put multiple force buys on the line, and that's all time that your opponent can rack up more rounds. So if 8sins are able to steal away this second round, that puts them in arguably a better position. And of course, overpass a CT-sided map, all the rounds you can get on the T side would be of massive benefit.
Indeed, it will. And a very exciting thing, obviously, about this finals is what trump cards that both of these teams are bringing in. Obviously, similar map pools, so you have to think, what does Artis have creeping up in his head here? Because I feel like when things get going tough, which arguably for TLR, it doesn't really happen so often, but it can happen. I wonder what little surprise he does have in store for us.
Yeah, I mean, as mentioned in the introduction, that they have proven in this past 12 months that they are mortal at times. Very much on a journey, however, recently to prove us wrong and re-establish themselves at the top, which they have been doing. Obviously, back at EPIC47, they were the top-placed UK team with a fourth-place finish. Didn't attend EPIC46, but were making up for that with strong performances in UK IC Masters. This is a chance for them to really get a good handful of those crucial VRS points that, of course, are on the line here at EPIC47, and get themselves some more big tournament invites in Europe against European competition.
I have to agree, and I mean, you have to think of the fact that they finally do have an org, and I feel like you can see that stability come into the server because they're finally getting paid for it. We don't know how much, obviously, but at the same time, that stability from outside the server has a direct impact in the server. So it's been good to see them on a rise. Question is for how long, though. It is how you build off this Epic line, of course.
Yes, and the tech issues have been resolved. We are going to be getting back underway, and it's going to be very interesting to see how 8sins choose to approach this round. Do they choose to cut their losses and go for the eco, or do they risk it all and force back in?
I think we definitely would have saw them going for the force, but obviously the bomb getting denied last second there. Just going to be 5 blocks into this one. So time to farm some cash.
Oh yeah, and Artis hears them all charging straight at him. MP5 in hand, the recent buff, Artis putting it to great effect. A double kill from him, Extinct chiming in as well. And he's only able to get 2. I thought he would have had the 3rd, but Tadpole does take his head clean off, recovers the rifle himself, and actually chucks it away. Very smart economy management there from Tadpole, forced the reinvestment from TLR. So a relatively expensive round, and only SMGs and a FAMAS saved here for the CT side.
Yeah, getting 2 kills there. Not so bad. I think they'll be happy with that, but this is where the real damage needs to be done. This is where they're going to have to put all their effort in to start clawing some rounds on this T side.
Yeah, they are going to need to do that. Obviously, 8sins, for the majority of these players, this would be their first time winning on the stage if they do get it over the line. Dobbo back at EPIC41 as part of the neighbours alongside Bev and Extinct. He's got his trophy, very much like another one. And then Tadpole. He has technically got an Epic Land title, but it was during the online era, so hoping for a different change in scenery for him for this one. But 8sins with the reinvestment, hoping to get this T side rolling and really put the knife to the throat of TLR. But obviously Artist with his weapon of choice this time out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these SMGs position themselves. I mean, obviously carrying them over into round number 3. It'll be tricky to make much impact with them, but I've seen Vacancy love this MP5 as of recent. Of course, with the recent update buffing it.
Yeah, very aggressive setup towards A here for the last resort. 8sins showing them a lot of respect. Being very thorough with all their clears and really just trying to work every individual area of the map, try and get as much information as possible. Dobbo is forced off the angle as Vacancy peeks off the back of the flashbang. Fraser is there with the trade, so numbers remaining even. But in terms of pure firepower, that's an SMG for a rifle. TLR are going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, that was a beautiful flash. They had to do something risky there with the MP5, not just wait until the execute comes in. So 1-for-1 trade there is not so bad, but Artis Storp is posted up on a nice angle here. Nice readjustment, very calm on the flick there. Put the advantage back into TLR as Extinct mopping up the shop here towards bathrooms. being an absolute nuisance.
Oh, yeah, Extinct does get one more before going down as well. It's all going to be on the captain of Fraser. An ace clutch would be required. Does have the bomb on his back, but only 10 seconds on the clock. This just isn't going to be winnable for Fraser. Maybe if he's able to take down Artist and steal the AWP, but Artist says no. Lovely little readjustment there. Just a few pixels he could see. That's all he needs.
The fact that we're already getting this version of Artist so early on, it's definitely a scary sight to see for if you are 8sin. So, I mean, the main challenge will be how do we bypass this man, because where's his weakness?
Yeah, I think the point I made in the intro about 8sin's being the more warmed-up team, I think that's already been completely nullified by the form that TLR have shown this early on.
Back to the pistols then. Round number 4. We've seen a lot of crazy pistol rounds, a lot of crazy pistol gimmicks here at Epic already. We'll have to see if 8sin's can channel some of that energy in this one with an early dink onto Vacancy. Sees Dobbo get a kill there, so a bit of panic at the stations, but this is all just a ruse. Look towards long.
Yeah, this is a great little set piece coming out from 8sin, sending Dobbo in. That has converted him a kill, and the fact he's crucially able to get out, it means TLR can't overcommit to any sort of rotate with Dobbo lurking around. Artist does spot the long presence out on the jump up, posts in, but misses between the posts. Oh, another miss shot out of Artist. He does have the support of Extinct, but Tadpole, that pesky Tech 9 takes Extinct down. And now, 8sin's 4 versus 2 advantage this time out. They do still have these lesser weapons, but Fraser has the one that matters. Giraffe, head taken off his shoulders, and now it's all going to be on Bev, and he is very much running for the hills.
Yeah, we don't really like to save here in the UK, so... But it's the right call. It is the right call here. Taking the safety into the next one is going to be so crucial, but... He will be surrounded on all sides, and I'm sure 8sin will be wanting to take this gun off him, so it is whether a case of can he out-aim himself out of this fight?
Oh, this is going to be difficult for him. Every single angle is being covered off. He can go back, but it would be towards the bomb, taking heavy damage, and you still do rest the damage from Tornex. Tornex isn't even going to be needed, because it's going to be Tadpole to get the frag, and 8sin's on the board on home turf.
Well, that completely nullifies what I said about Artist being online, because the 2 rare whiffs from him, I mean, getting the info early, to shooting between the posts, as you mentioned, the pistol's clearly coming out on top, and for something tells me that's not going to be the first time we see that.
Those pesky Tech 9s, man.
It's always the Tech 9s.
Yeah, hate seeing them. They do need a nerf. I'm going to be brutally honest. They're a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun when you're the one getting the kills, but when you're on the receiving end, I think we all know it's not the best of times.
Yeah, TLR will be purchasing back into this one. Minor concessions, but ooh, this is a very interesting setup we have here. Look at what weapons Artist and Extinct are going to be wielding.
Early double orb.
Yeah, heavy investment.
And an early risk to take at this stage of the game. I mean, maybe we would have seen this later towards the first half, but the fact that you're bringing out so early, you're trying to make a statement early. And let 8sin know that we're going to be dictating the pace of the game. We're going to be dictating the entire rhythm of this entire series. And you want to have a single foot through the door. Yeah,
but it's a big risk. You are compromising firepower in other areas of your game in order to go for this setup. You really need to make it work, but 8sin's thus far doing a great job of avoiding it. Very passive right now from the CTs. 8sin's clearing out bathrooms. Artist aware of the presence, the flashbang will have been heard.
This early fight could be a very important factor in this round, but it's only going to be the tag onto Fraser. He's going to duck tail and start to reposition as now he's been spotted.
Yeah, and look at the moves of 8sin here. They're now fully aware of Artist's presence. They're looking to overwhelm in sheer numbers. Extinct. Okay. 7 in hand.
The tag should have been heard there.
Don't know if that was heard. Extinct still waiting. Able to get the 1 on the 5-7, but only 1. Dobbo is there very quickly with the trade. Another missed shot out of Artist. Looking a bit shaky, but Tadpole does still go down eventually. Artist doesn't even need to see him that time. And Bev from Optimus with a double, making a triple up from Bev. TLR ending 8sin's streak of rounds at just a single 1.
Almost had me worried there, because what was Extinct doing with the AWP in the smoke with the 5-7? I mean, I don't know if that was just he couldn't reposition back to the site in time as the hit was coming on in, but that got a little nervy there. And like you mentioned, it was a very big risk bringing out 2 AWPs, and for the fact that for it to go down like that, it was a little bit messy.
It was very messy, but crucially, the fact that the tag was not heard in the smoke, that is a bit of bad communication and bad attention to detail coming out from 8sin's. So it's kind of an issue caused by their own making. They had the right idea, but they just didn't trust themselves.
Yeah, it does look a little nervy on the server, but I'm sure as things gradually continue to grow, we will be seeing the best versions of both teams. Sadly for Aidsons, I mean, I feel like this entire game has been forced back onto the 4 spies with these pistols, with a couple mixed rifles. Obviously Fraser with that hero AWP. You did mention we need to see the AWPs at their best versions. He's taking point.
Yeah, immediately searching for an overextension, but the last resort playing very disciplined right now. The aggressive setup is on the other side of the map. Nathan's just freezing. They do have a lot to work with here, do the T side. Enough util 4 and execute, and now they are going hunting. Extinct spots one player out over towards the fountains. That is Tornek. Ooh, caught on the geometry, but is still able to escape. Nathan's very much trying to just draw the last resort out of position. Execute now coming in over towards the B site, but it is a 3-man stack for TLR.
Yeah, they're in the right positions to be able to hold this off. It is a question whether they can channel in that Tech 9 energy from that previous round.
Flashes are good. Nathan's only able to get 1 before going down. Bev getting very aggressive, has the support of Artist, but it's Dobbo with a double entry. 2 versus 2 now. And Dobbo knows he has to watch his flank. He spots that Giraffe and takes his head clean off. Extinct now forced into 1 versus 2, spamming from heaven. Knew where both of the players were. One was the planter, one was Dobbo, one short. Extinct going for the jumping hero M4, but not connecting this time out.
Yeah, but he's still going to give this one a go. He does have to get past this crossfire. A lovely kill onto Tadpole there. Extinct putting it into a 1v1. Dobbo holding on firm, looking confident on the aim, but Extinct on the drop down gets that clutch, and you can hear it from that screaming. They're very happy about that one.
Yeah, Dobbo head in hand. You can see how much he thought he was going to win that one, and the disappointment. The weight of the round rested on his shoulders. That crisp, clean 3K unfortunately comes to nothing. And TLR, they are building up a solid lead right now.
You know, it's rough. I mean, he had 3 kills. That would have been his number 4. He looked very, very confident on the angle. Crosshair in the right position, but just caught out. I think a little bit on the timing is just not quick enough. But at this stage of the game, you're down 4 rounds. You've got to start pulling some rounds together, because if not, the second half is going to be very, very tough.
Yeah, it is, especially with TLR really beginning to get rolling. And it's very difficult for Aidsons because there seems to be no real gaps within this CT defense. Of course, you've got the boys from the Emerald Isle holding over towards A, but then you've still got 3 extremely solid players over towards B. And also, they're very good at rotating around, feeling out what the Ts are going to be doing. There have been some critiques from people about Fraser's style of calling. I'm someone who actually is a big fan of Fraser. I think he is a very strong player, very strong IGL. But sometimes people believe he can be a bit simplistic in the way he calls. It's effective, but somewhat readable.
I do hear that, and it is a big challenge calling against Artis with his years of experience. You never truly know what he's thinking. At the same time, you don't want overthinking. So it is a true challenge of the minds. Giraffe already gets an opener here. TLR, and just so consistent, knowing when to give up space, knowing when to take the fights and retreat. They're just giving Aidsons no fights here.
Yeah, very passive, but maybe Artist overextending a little bit, trying to get a bit too trigger happy. Tadpole will equalize the numbers, but the weaponry advantage still very much with TLR. HP as well. Tornex was chucked down early by that HE towards the ramp. Short aggression coming out here from TLR, and that allows Bev to capitalize with another multi-kill. He has been Mr. Multi-kill all tournament long. Vacancy. Plucking the other player out the round, puts it all on Tornex, who, as said, was low from earlier. Extinct does make a little bit of a mess of the spray, but it gets the kill, and that's all that really matters.
And it is good to see Bev towards top of the leaderboard. I mean, coming into the tournament, I think already prefaced it. He has been putting in the heavy lifting outside of the server online. I mean, and it's clearly showing that he can do it on LAN as well, because my goodness, if he's going to be able to put up these types of numbers across all 3 maps, it's going to be a tough battle back for Aidsons.
Yeah, Bev, one of the top players in UK CS for a while. When he joined forces with Artist & Co, he thought maybe it was the start of another dynasty. It has looked like that so far. But you can never count out Aidsons. They do have the ability to turn a game on its head, but unfortunately in this round they're going to have to do it with just 4. Artist, once again, another opening frag for him.
Yeah, they're always working with a man down, and it's only been 15 seconds, so you know that's got to be quite frustrating for Fraser, always having to call with one less man. Just does put you in a precarious position. least they do have bathroom control, but it does look like TLR are just happy to give that up and do fight for other parts of the map. As you can see, they are walking up towards long here.
Fraser, just an arm is all Artists need, and crucially that is the bomb being dropped. 8sin's very much out of position now. Prime trying to fight tooth and nail to get it back, and it has forced Artists into a retreat. So it is recoverable here for 8sins, but in a 2 versus 4, how are you going to go about this?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very tough round back in for Prime and Dobbo. I mean, they will just look to double up here and try and, I guess, outsmart Artist here, but he's posted on the right angles. We'll be able to call his boys back for support.
Yeah, TLR have no reason to do anything silly in this situation. Very disciplined play as ever. HE dropping out by Artist to try and soften up the players on the jump. Aces have taken away the site control, but look at the positioning of Giraffe here. Okay, Dobbo is very much aware of Giraffe's positioning. Deletes him immediately, but unfortunately going for the plant is exposed to Artist. 15 seconds on the clock. Prime needs to win this one out for 8sins. This is one of their best opportunities they've had thus far, but TLR charging him down, and it's Bev again, breaking 8sins' hearts.
It does just look like TLR are one step ahead of whatever 8sins are thinking of, because, I mean, that fight towards long, that seemed like it was premeditated, and Artist knew exactly what Fraser was going to be doing there, so it's a bit tough if you're the IGL there, knowing that we're being outthought here. They know our game plan. What more do we have in store that they might not know about?
Yeah, and you can sort of feel that tension. Like 8sins, we see them on the cameras. They are very stoic. They are not getting excited. They are getting into their own heads. Whereas I can hear TLR behind me laughing away. They are having the time of their lives right now.
To them, it's just another pug, maybe.
Oh, you can't get into that mind of thinking. Not against a team like 8sins. You might be doing well now, but the game can quickly turn on its head. Especially considering you are currently on the favoured side. There is plenty of time for it to go wrong.
Problem is we just have seen so little from 8sins. Apart from that one gimmicky Tech 9 round, these rifle rounds have been very clearly favoured towards TLR. That's Naystack actually does see vacancy fall to the 9 HP as Bevis swings on in, trying to catch out of timing. So for once, 8sins with the advantage here. They need to work with this.
Yeah, 8sins adjusting their playbook a little bit in this one, and it has netted them an opening frag, what feels like maybe 3 times in this map. It has been TLR on top very early in the rounds, but Giraffe caught juggling Util. Dobbo on a great little timing, and they know one player's going to be in towards the pit. Vacancy, low HP player from earlier, and Dobbo once again, another triple kill to crack open that B bomb site. Extinct trying to rotate in is cut down by Tornex. And now Mr. Clark. I think you've seen you work miracles before, but this one feels a little bit beyond you.
Yeah, as much as I would love to see him go for it, the smart option here is, of course, to hold on to this one, but I'm sure 8sins feeling themselves a little bit double on the hunt. Will just be walking right into Artist's crosshair. But maybe a little bit of luck in that round, but 8sins need all the luck they can get.
Yeah, they're going to need luck, and they're going to need aggression. Look at what the T side are doing. They are hunting. But I think they've just called it off. Realise that their economy is not in a strong place. They need to preserve the weaponry that they have. They will allow Artist to keep hold of his favourite toy. Terrorists win. Playing with fire a little bit with that save spot there, Artist. 9 HP at the end of it, but
Yeah,
if you get away with it, you get away with it.
But it does just seem, I feel like when they can get that opening pick 8sins, we can see them feel like a little bit more energy is injected into them, knowing, okay, we finally got a pick here, let's work with it. I'm sure Giraffe juggling Util there is another bit of a lucky spot there, but at the same time, you'll take every kill that you can get and every lucky chance that's presented to yourself.
Yeah, but 8sins do still need to keep on top of what they're doing. That was a little bit of a gift there over towards the B site. Yes, Dobbo has to absolutely make the most of it, and he does that brilliantly. He has been the bright spark for 8sins thus far today. But they're still going to need to outplay. TLR will not make the same mistake twice.
They will not, but Tadpole not expecting the boost. Giraffe not hitting his shots, but that's information confirmed for both sides here. So once again, 8sins liking to work the short area of the map of the B bomb site. This time, Artist always moving around, keep that up. Guessing for 8sins, where is he at? Will it be expected him to be posted up so close?
Yeah, 8sins being noisy with their positioning as well. I have called this off a little bit, called a little bit of a freeze, work other parts of the map. TLR still holding firm.
Giraffe has been elevated onto that boost, though.
Two times. Okay, you don't do it twice in one round. Dobby ready for it this time. Bev will cut him down, but still a bit of a gimmick play coming out from TLR, not paying off for the most part because the numbers are still even, which you do feel favors the T side.
Yeah, they're not rused whatsoever by that pressure towards the B side. Extinct actually going to be the lone man here as Artist does come over to the A side, swaps with Vacancy. This will be the two Irishmen to hold on to this A site as the hit's starting to come in.
Oh, not clearing the corners once again. Extinct once again from the bathrooms gets one before going down. Artist all alone here. Does get the first one onto Prime. Tadpole is coming in for the circle, but Vacancy is there with the cover and the no-scope to finish off Fraser. A little bit of showboating there from Artist. TLR are feeling it.
He is a wall. I mean, he is impenetrable. You cannot get past this man, and you can tell he's feeling it, going for the no-scope there. It just does seem that TLR are a step ahead every single step of the way, and it is just a rough side for 8sins. It's not over yet, of course. Once they switch over, I think their luck will maybe start to benefit them, but at the same time, it's got to hurt. I mean, this is your map pick. You're getting schooled.
Yeah, and it's only going to get more difficult from here on out. Yes, you've got the CT side still to come, which should be favoring you, but after that is going to be Nuke, a map that TLR have been so strong on historically. They did swap it out for Train as one of their picks earlier in the season, but with Train gone, Nuke is back to being their home and stomping ground.
Indeed. And I love the composure there from Artist there. I mean, you could tell the guy was running up on his left. He had full faith that his teammates rotating in will come up, save his life, and of course he can focus on the guy on the right. And he shows us a bit of flashiness with that no-scope, so happy days.
Yeah, but also the trust in Vacancy to cover for him because he was fixated on Fraser. Tadpole, if he'd swung a little bit faster, he might have got the timing onto the big green, but unfortunately for him, just a little bit too slow, and Vacancy, just the perfect timing to get into position, but Dobbo once again trying his best to do some damage over towards the B site, picks off Bev very early into this one.
Does seem like the B side is where they're finding the early opening, so TLR once again will be starting with a man down, but we've seen them work with worse.
Yeah, they are taking a little bit of damage from some stray bullets, but still maintaining all 5 players alive.
Ooh, 1-for-1 trade there, Artist, besting the ult of Fraser, so as long as he's still alive, he is the raid boss that 8sins have yet to counter.
Yeah, currently sitting 15 and 6, absolutely dominating the server. Does now have the support of Giraffe. Oh, picks back in, but a missed off a missed shot. That's an opportunity, and Dobbo will not let you get another one off. Another entry over towards the B site for Dobbo. This has been 8sins' happy hunting ground, but unfortunately, it just hasn't materialized for the most part. But this time, Tadpole is there to save the day with a double kill of his own. And 8sins, they're getting closer. They are getting a bit closer, but you do feel they need this final round of the half if they want to make this truly competitive.
Indeed they do. 8-3 doesn't seem so bad, and 9-3 not the worst, but at the same time, if they can get this final one, momentum will be on their side as they switch over to the pistol round. So, yeah, the odds are in their favor, of course. I mean, this is their pick. They have some work to do, of course, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, but look at the purchase the TLR are going to have coming into this one. Artist, he has got a one-shot gun, but it's not the one that everyone would have wanted him to have.
A Nova enjoyer, huh?
You a Nova enjoyer?
Absolutely not.
Disappointing.
I seem to disappoint you too often, clearly. Extinct, however, doesn't seem to want to disappoint Connector. Good for one at least. Tornex quick on that trade. Connector dispatched. Apart from Artist's Nova, as it strikes true and strong onto Prime, picking up that AK, and he continues on the hunt. Can they discover him, though?
Yeah, TLR have turned this round around very quickly. 8sins, they feel like they're being boxed in here. Stuck out towards B. Tornex will pick off Vacancy, but you've still got to get past Bev on the site. A bomb yet to truly commit. Catches out Dobbo on a timing. Tornex dispatched off as well by Artist, so it has to be Fraser, the leader, able to get the first. Knows of Giraffe's positioning and knows where Artist was on the flank, so he needs to isolate these fights quickly. Instead opts for the plants.
He does have all the time in the world, but going straight for the plant, knowing he does have the timing with Artist, of course, on that big flank, and he's going to catch a timing here, getting himself into graffiti. Will he be able to get there, however? Artist tagging up a little bit, gets the kill on the player in heaven, switches back over for the 180, but Artist again, can they bypass this man? Clearly not. TLR will be ending the half 9-3. At least 8sins show a bit of bite towards the end, but at the same time, it is a tough way back into this one.
Starts with a shotgun and still ends up with a 3K. Artist is inevitable.
I don't even think Thanos could beat him.
No, not on UK soil anyway.
At least.
But anyway, this is where 8sins need to turn it around. CT side, the preferred side of Overpass. Show why you picked this map.
Yeah, I mean, of course, TLR, of course, I've been playing this one, so it's not as if they're no stranger to Overpass, but at the same time, with all the heavy expectations that we do have of 8sins, I mean, making it to another final, to see them crumble in this way, it is a little bit sad, but we know they've got more in them. They've got more in the tank.
Yeah, obviously 8sins as an organization, they've been haunted by Artist and Extinct for so long now. Still searching for that first domestic title. Picking up the Drip Men, they knew they had the capabilities of slaying the beast, but unfortunately it's just not materialized into trophies as of late.
Maybe today could be that day, but there's still that treacherous journey ahead of them. As here comes this overwhelming force of TLR to the top side over here. Fraser, at least it's good for one on that little HP. Tadpole diving through the smoke to try and help out Fraser towards long. And it's all going the favor here for 8sins on this pistol. It's Fraser, that's a huge round from him. A huge triple, but it's all on Giraffe. A quiet game from him. And Tornex will close it out. And that's exactly the way 8sins would have won started this half.
Yeah, great play from Fraser. 20 HP, he does not care. He is willing to take those fights. As long as he's got blood left in his veins, he will fight to the bitter end. And 8sins, that was a must-needed pistol, but once again, they do have to get this conversion or else things could spiral back out of control.
But it is nice to see both IGLs being that spearheads towards the top of the leaderboards, being that leader that we should be seeing from them, just both in mind, but also on the server, getting the kills that they need to. Obviously, Hardest putting in a lot more work, but at the same time, that's going to be very inspiring for the 8sins lot.
Absolutely. They know they can do it, and they are just going to be up against blocks this time out. Tornex only able to get one before going down, but Fraser is there with a double. So trades favouring 8sins, but rifle in the hands of Bev. Artist can recover one as well. A weaponry advantage actually favouring TLR right now.
Indeed it is. I mean, I don't think they're rocking armor, so they're still going to be in the advantage here, 8sins, but, I mean, any gun in the hands of Artist clearly seems to work no matter what disadvantage he's at.
Yeah, and TLR just intent on unnerving 8sins right now. They got those opening kills. They have plenty of time to do whatever they want. Tadpole holding the connector. I don't know if he saw the leg of Bev. Bev definitely did not see Tadpole.
It doesn't look like they spotted each other. Tadpole's actually going to be making the long flank around. There is a timing on this, but you look towards Dobbo and Prime on that A side. They are going to be ready for this.
Yeah, the two rifles in the hands of 8sins. Trying to play off each other. Dobbo going for the jump spots. This is all going to come down to timing. When does Dobbo overextend? He doesn't need to overextend. Artist swings it into him, and Dobbo once again with a multi-kill. Leading the way for 8sins right now, sitting 16 and 12. He is the one keeping them in it. That was for all of the T side. And on the CT side, he is continuing that fine form.
Yeah, that was a clean conversion, but this will be the true test for them. The first gun round, TLR will be looking to invest, get to double digits, and close out their opponent's map pick. But it's good to see these pistols not being a problem for them right now, but who knows what's coming ahead.
Rifles coming out for TLR. This is going to put 8sins to the sword. Just waiting out the barrage of utility heading their way right now. No need to overextend, but Dobbo is going to overextend, and Artist is going to take him down. Connecting control has been gained by TLR. Spam not hitting the mark.
The fact that you lose one of your B players so early does leave the 8sins in a bit of a precarious position. How many players do you want to gamble over here? In this moment in time, we got 3 players over here. You got Tornex all the way towards long, keeping an eye if they do go back to Fountain. But obviously, there is that chance they can go up connector, so we do see that reposition to a player going to Heaven, just in case they do opt to go back. But I think Artist has his mind trained on one thing. He wants to hit this site.
8sins have a lot of great information at this point, but they need to not lose their nerve. They need to trust in their instinct. Fraser knocked off the angle by the flashbang into Rafa, Bev, and Vacancy. 3 kills. And now it is just that man Tornex. got all the information, but just was not in any sort of position to support. And now in a 1 versus 5, you can maybe take an AK away.
Yeah, tracked on him.
But yeah, Extinctor's not going to let that happen. So TLR with an instant response.
It's just textbook from TLR. It's just beautiful counter set that we're seeing from them, not letting the nerves get the best of them. And they're playing the best CS, the best versions of themselves when it matters most. 8cents left wondering, is there anything we can do to best these guys? This moment in time, it does seem it's going to be a little bit too difficult, however.
Yeah, we need to see an instant response out of 8cents.
That's the thing with Artist slot. They keep pounding on the pressure, even when they know there's a weakness, they'll keep pounding it until it does get rectified. And for now, 8cents can't seem to fix their mistakes. And Artist will continue to keep punishing them.
Aggressive setup here by 8cents. Playing for the information, and Tadpole will get more than that. A kill onto Giraffe. 8cents aware of the TLR aware of the 3 players over towards B with that boost being deployed, but they are forced away by the spam.
Not sure when the reposition, but you do look at Extinct, who's already out, and they're going to continue on here. TLR not phased whatsoever by that triple stack, and they will find themselves an empty bomb site. Nobody to contest, but 8cents do have the man up in this retake.
Man advantage, but no kit.
Yeah, so they will definitely have to be getting a move on. And this smoke will be causing them a couple of problems here. So Prime looks like he will be elevated onto this boost. It's a little bit messy as he opts to go back down. As the time ticks away, 8cents are running out of opportunities, and they're not even going to go for it.
No.
They're giving it up.
At this point, the round is very unwinnable. You have so little time to work with. TLR have not been presenting you any opportunity whatsoever. Even with 5 players alive, they just do not have the confidence to be able to go for this. They're just going to try and play for exits, but Tornex is going to get cut down doing that. So they do preserve the upgraded weaponry, but TLR moving ever closer to that magic number 13.
Yeah, and it seems like there's no stopping them whatsoever. We're not even yet seeing a tactical yet. I mean, Fraser can call one. Of course, you've got the coach behind them. At this point, I feel like we need to slow down the game a little bit and start to at least think, what can we do? Can we put a plan in place to at least stop them a little bit?
Yeah, at what point does Dutchy just overrule and say, no, right, we need to take a minute. We just need to talk things through. Obviously, he was brought back into the 8cents organization for that very purpose, to help these players develop, give more support to the likes of Fraser. But he's been kept very quiet. But he's been very quiet thus far, and I do think 8cents, they do need a little bit of a rethink how they're going about it right now. They're breaking the smoke, but just not connecting with the spray. Tadpole besting him on that occasion. Vacancy gets one before going down to the snapping turtle of Dobbo. Once again, a multi-kill from Dobbo. Extinctor's there just to try and restore a little bit of order. Gets Tornex, but Tadpole is there with the trade, so it's all going to be on Giraffe. In and out of the team as of late, but joining TLR. He was brought back in. Quiet game thus far, 5 and 11.
Yeah, coming into this epic land, he's been putting up incredible numbers here. So to see him so quiet on the first map says a lot about the other work that the teammates have been pushing in, or putting in, I should say. But there's ever a time for him to come online, it's now.
Yeah, Giraffe going silent. This has unnerved 8cents. They are forced to search for more information, but Giraffe, he seems fully aware of what the 8cents could potentially be doing.
Yeah, this wraparound could be something that they wouldn't expect.
Fraser's thinking about it, but Giraffe is still going to win out the gunfight. That little bit of hesitation coming out from Fraser, maybe costing him. Not quite expecting Giraffe to be in that position. So it's going to be Tadpole up against Giraffe. Tight angle being held by Tadpole, but he only needs to see a sliver. 8cents do eventually get the round over the line.
And it's a close one. Draft looking to be the mastermind in that one, in that clutch. And he almost seemed like he had it, but very well aware of his antics. It seems like trained in on that angle once again. It's a very good spray down. But at the same time, got a couple more rounds to come back into it. And it's going to be so tricky. You got to play perfect CS from here on out. And that's not what we've seen 8cents as of yet. But hopefully that's a bit more inspiration, a little cheer from them. It's got to start now, though.
It has to happen now. You can't really afford to lose this next round, because if you do, your economy is just not going to be in a very strong place. 4 players going down for 8cents. Obviously, going to fully invest back into this one. This is a chance for TLR to take the game by the scruff of the neck and swing it back in their favour.
But the hope Stakes are still high, of course, to be taking off their opponent's map pick. In a breeze, of course, Nuke will be to follow, and we already know how much of home turf that is for TLR, so still a long way to go in this series, but in this moment in time, Artis is doing what we're expected of him, leading the way by example.
TLR slowing it right down. 8sins, what's been working out for them has been a few little gimmicky plays here and there. TLR knowing that the CT's backs are against the wall, they can't afford to take any unnecessary risks. They just have to play their game.
I've seen many times artists like to bring out this packed style of CS as they like to snowball towards long into bathrooms. This is going to be a big test for Fraser.
Yeah, but you look at him, he's going hunting. He has an idea, and actually Vacancy not even looking in the right direction. The shoulder is spotted, and Fraser will take the body. Tornex picking off Extinct as well. Bev over at long, deploying the utility for this B execute. Robo here still just holding the angle though. Molotov deployed, and TLR are going to be forced into a cancel. A heavy utility investment from the T side for no real map control at the end of the day. But it has whittled the util away from the CTs as well. Flash over the top, Fraser completely blinded, and Giraffe will pounce. Tornex trying to support, staying alive, but overextending a little bit. Artis is going to be there, but once again, Dobbo from the back of the site. He's able to get a one another and another. Artis is there with the trade. 1 versus 2 attempt. Tap on the bomb. He's committing to it, and Prime lying in wait. The EPIC47 MVP. A quiet game from him thus far, but that kill is a necessity.
Absolutely, and 8sins disrupting the hit before it even took place. That was a very good call by Fraser. Nice shots from him, of course. Artis nearly creeping back into the round, some nice shots, but not expecting Prime so quick on the rotations behind Truck. And they're edging ever closer. They got to play this one round at a time. And before you know it, they'll be finding themselves at such a close scoreline.
Timing on that peak from Fraser was perfection, and then Prime, the positioning lying in wait. Artis, despite being seen as a god, unfortunately he was not omnipresent in that one. Not able to see where Prime was going to be. And now, unfortunately, TLR are going to be forced down to pistols, so giving a chance for 8sins to close that gap. Tornex is making a little bit of a mess of this. Artis still alive, but only temporarily. Vacancy does get the dink off, but with the block, that's just not going to be enough. Fraser and Tornex, they mop down the rest of TLR, and 8sins have brought this into a 3-round game.
Absolutely, and that's some good confidence for Tornex, of course. I think we're expecting to see a lot from him. Of course, this is a stage debut from him, of course, at Epic LAN. And we need to see him at his best, because we know what he's capable of. And that round there, I know it seems quite insignificant, but it could snowball into something special.
Yeah, of course, was present back at Epic LAN 46 with Prestige, helped guide them to a 3rd place finish, but coming into this lineup to replace Biggin, we thought it was an instant firepower upgrade. All due respect, Connor, you know we love you.
Straight back to what works here. Giraffe to set himself up towards short. And there we go. That's a lovely entry from him. Looking to get more active on the T side. A little quiet on that first half, and he's doubling up as Tornex tries to trade his teammates' life. It doesn't go the way he would have wanted. And Giraffe coming online is going to be a big problem here for 8sins.
Yeah, but this is great by TLR, complete reroute. 8sins have been caught out in the rotations, and a lot of pressure is going to be put on Fraser here. Drops the defensive smoke, but the offensive utility is coming in, taking away in that Molotov, down to 20 points of health. Is able to get one before going down, but you just think that's not going to be enough. And the rest of 8sins are mowed down. TLR, they will be the first ones to move on to map points.
Yeah, and they can smell blood in the water. I think Artis knows that they can get the game done right here and right now and get straight into the map number 2 and close off the series before there was really even a chance for 8sins to come online. And you have to say, that start in the first half, you kind of could tell how the game was going to go now, and I'm obviously speaking in hindsight a little bit, but it was a nervy start, a very slow start for 8sins, and they could never really get their foot through the door on the T side, and I feel like that's replicating itself now on the second half.
Yeah, but everything TLR have done in the past few rounds has been very calculated. A bunch of slow rounds in the previous ones, a quick change of pace in that position in that previous round, caught 8sins completely unaware and netted them that opening frag onto Tadpole. At that point, The round was all but won as soon as panic was sowed within the 8-Sins lines. They still have to convert the kill, convert the round in the end, but there was a much easier job for them with that man advantage. Once again, short control taken very early by TLR, and Extinct walking himself through the monster pipe will pick on Prime. Tadpole stuck on the pillar is able to get the kill onto Vacancy, but fighting a war on two fronts is just going to prove a bit too much for him. But it's still Dobbo. Top performer for 8-Sins. B-Site has been his domain, but unfortunately caught between two mines. Artist removes his, and Extinct picking off Tornex puts it all on Fraser. The captain, the leader, needs to do it all here with a 4K. Able to get the first, but a missed shot onto Extinct. That's another opportunity that goes Bev begging, and Bev will not give him another. TLR stealing away 8-Sins map pick of Overpass.
It's over as soon as it started. It feel like 8-Sins, once again, I mention it and I preface it so many times, they never really got active on their pick. And this is going to be a real underdog story for them coming back their way to hopefully, well, they would hope to sweep this series. But we're moving on to Nuke. And I feel like this could be where TLR might, nail the coffin here.
Yes, I mean, TLR, they are a very capable Nuke team.
Yes.
We have to preface that. They have been one of the strongest teams on the UK on this map, as they have with a lot of 8-Sins have been one of the strong. 8-Sins are a very strong Nuke team. Apologies about that. But yeah, 8-Sins are a very strong Nuke team. They are, in some ways, quite underrated on this map. Nuke is a very highly played map within the UK scene, and 8-Sins have been able to hang with the best on it. But it's TLR's domain. They picked it for a reason, despite knowing how strong 8-Sins can be.
And how do you think they're going to be feeling even after that first map? I mean, they never really got anything going. A couple of the rounds they won, of course, was a bit of luck, but there's nothing wrong with a bit of luck. If you're putting yourself in good opportunities, good luck will come your way. But at the same time, when it came down to those nitty-gritty rounds, on the rifle rounds, it looked like Artist was always one step ahead of Fraser, and Fraser was never really able to best him, even individually and as an IGL.
Yeah, our Artist, at some points, especially on that CT side, when he had the read on Fraser. Every single time TLR seemed to know exactly what they're doing. It took moments of individual brilliance out of the likes of Dobbo for 8-Sins to truly get a foothold on that side. But unfortunately, this is the risk when you pick a very one-sided map. You're going to have to come from behind because the other team will always pick the stronger side.
I can agree, Mira. I can only hope that Zach keeps that smile on his face and, well, the 8-Sins lot can, of course, perform some sort of miracle. But again, we're going to need to see some sort of elevation in performances from the individuals. I mean, in my mind, I didn't expect Extinct to be towards the top of the leaderboard next to Artist. So the two Irishmen performing excellently for TLR. If those two can continue on, I mean, they're putting Ireland on the map.
Oh, yeah, they've been repping their Irish flag for a very long time. Obviously, competing at likes of IESF and all that, just flying the flag very proudly. Like I said, the boys from the Emerald Isle have kind of been the jewel in the crown of UK CS for such a long time, and that experience is very much proving itself in the server.
Well, we can only hope that 8-Sins can do something special on map number 2, but we will be cutting to a short break, so make sure you guys do not go anywhere.
What do you want from me? Are you trying to get me back or just bad memories? What do you want from me? You can buy my love with all your treasuries. Oh, you think that you
Hello, Overclockers!
Like if you really want a kind of like a competitive advantage, you have to buy this.
This is so weird. Wait. Click. What the? Wait, that's crazy. It shouldn't be possible now. Like, oh my god.
I'm done, and I like this. It's really good. This is really, really good. Oh, it's super fast. Oh, this is good, bro.
Wow. Release the mouse. I miss the click feeling already.
Oh, it's so light.
This is interesting.
Oh my god.
It's just a linear
Wow.
I was telling my teammates, like, you guys need to buy this now.
What winning means to me, it means everything. The new technology in Super Strike, we can shoot faster, we click faster. This is what makes the mouse best.
TLR stealing away the map pick of 8sins, and now they move on to home turf of Nuke. It's difficult if you're an 8sins fan to really see how are we going to get back into this.
It was probably the most turbulent time I think they've had on the server all 3 days of Epic LAN. I mean, they never really got their foot through the door whatsoever, and whenever they did at least get around, they were quickly shut down by Artist and Co. And you have to say, now that you're heading to their backyard, I'm sure Artist has a campsite near Nuke there, just perched up, because that is his second home. It feels like, where's the counter? Where are they going to be able to activate? I feel like we need to see more of individuals like Prime, because I don't think you're able to really get going.
Yeah, they were hyper reliant on Dobbo in that
They were.
previous map. Obviously, he was the one really trying everything he could possibly do to drag 8sins into this, and they did make it somewhat close, 13-8. But you just think they really need to buck up their ideas, maybe get Dutchy on the mic a little bit more, talk things through, because they will need composure in this next map.
I think that's a very good point raised. I mean, you have tacticals at your disposal, and you have your chance on stage, and the fact that you don't use it once, I mean, I don't really know where that's coming from. I mean, you got a coach behind you. I would have hoped that he would have intersected and at least interjected himself and be like, all right, boys, we can clearly see that we're struggling. Let's at least take it down, stop the pressure, stop the momentum that TLR are building up, because right now we are getting stumped on our pick, and, well, they never really got going, and that's why I'm kind of scared for them.
Yeah, it is very much of a concern for 8sins, and they're really going to need to turn it around, but obviously We have obligations. We want to send a massive thank you over to our sponsors here at EPIC47. Overclockers UK, been supporting us for such a long time and such a great service. I use them personally. And XP Pro eyewear, you know, if you're tired of getting flashbanged a little bit too much in the dark, those blue light glasses can really help protect you out. And of course, our sponsor of our CS2 tournament is Logitech. Let's sponsor the CS2 tournament, and the MVP will win a Pro X2 Super Strike. And we're about to see if one of these guys will throw their hat back into the ring for this. I'm looking at the likes of Artist already having one hand on that mouse. But we are getting going once again. 8sin starting on the CT side here of Nuke, and it's going to be very fast out of Bev, jumping around backwards, trying to add to the distraction. And Vacancy has going to capitalize on that with a quad kill. Oh my god! Dobbo trying to
Not
restore
like
something
this!
for Vacancy! An ace to kick things off here on Nuke. And TLR, whatever 8sin would have been talking about in that break, it has all just gone to shreds just 20 seconds in.
Absolutely speechless. I mean, here we were trying to make excuses, and one was prefaced into 8sin. Come on. I mean, they've got a chance in this map, and then Vacancy is the man to shut them down in 20 seconds on the pistol round. That's got to leave them heartbroken.
Yeah, Vacancy, I think one of the most underrated aspects of this TLR roster. Whenever I see them in international competition, he is the one always towards the very top. Against domestic, some of the other guys will step up a lot more, but Vacancy, I think, arguably the star, and very much proving it early on here in Nuke.
To add even more salt to the wound, it will be a full save, so this is going to be a really hard round for the 8sin lads.
They just water ramp again. They've just done it again.
Contest, and I mean, these SMGs should be able to go to town. Vacancy playing it very smart here, not wanting to give up anything silly here as TLR snowball their way into the site, and it's all very simple. Double at least does get a consolation, a couple dinks actually, so he's doing a pretty good job here, and Tornex is yet to activate. Do need to see him getting active, but he's a little bit too far away from the action. But this is already a solid eco.
Yeah, a couple of kills. If he's able to get one more onto the low HP of Artist, I think 8sin would say, yes, that is a successful round. Has recovered himself a weapon, but gun about to run dry, so has to be very careful. He's not even going to get a chance to fire off a bullet. The wide swing taking him out of the round very quickly. But yeah, as you mentioned, a couple of kills. 8sin working with just USPs. Relatively happy with that.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that, and especially with how the pistol round went. At least they got a couple pistol round kills in that one, so it makes up for it.
Maybe they're just operating one round behind.
Yeah, clear. Well, that's not a good sign, is it?
No, definitely not. So maybe adjust your watches a bit, boys. But once again, it is Dobbo putting up the numbers. First 2 kills for 8sin. Of course, it's under his name. TLR very much intent on keeping up the pressure here, even though the weapons have come out for 8sin.
It is, and especially with them starting on the favorite side, we've really got to see them capitalize on that. But this A-pop is looking absolutely splendid for TLR. All the entries getting their kills, but Tornex, who's been a little quiet, finally steps up to the plate here. Huge double from him. Dobbo rising from the heavens here, all put on Artist.
Yeah, the utility was excellent from TLR, but 8sin rotating in at just the right time to catch out those players, and now it is going to have to be the captain to lead the way, but Dobbo once again is going to shut him down. So 8sin, once the rifles come out, they do make their presence known.
See a lot of smiles creeping in there. That's what you want to see from the 8sin guys. You forget completely about that last map. Now you play it as if it's a best of one. And if you do so, you will find yourselves on that final map.
Yes, it has to be flawless from 8sin for the remainder of the series. But TLR will not make it easy. They do have economy built up from the previous, so it will be another purchase coming in. Not a full purchase, not all the bells and whistles, but more than good enough to pose a threat. Once again, early pressure over towards that A site. Top Dobbo, spam through the smoke. He's going to net himself a double here. Tucking away as well. Beve is ready for it though, but Fraser's there with the trade.
Yeah, one of these AKs putting in the work here. And now Beve can be a problem in the back lines.
Yeah, and this is a war being fought on 2 fronts right now. Prime will dispatch of one of them. Extinct going the way of the Dodo. But Bev still lurking around. Spotted out now by Tornex. The Dane going for the aggressive play. Trying to be a little rat. And Bev, well, unfortunately, he needs to invest in some mousetraps.
Yeah, I'm not able to pick out Tornix from there. And at least we are tied at the scores, and it feels like 8sins, they are coming in with a little bit more confidence. They look a little bit more comfy here on CT, and I know it's a bit too early to say, but I could just telling by the way they've been playing these last couple rounds, they look a little bit more certain of what they're doing.
Yeah, they are looking a bit more comfortable. Maybe I was a bit too soon to say that the break was a bit wasted for them, because they do seem a lot more composed. TLR, they're going to need to compose themselves. 8sins very much keeping them within arm's reach, and unfortunately so is that util. A little bit of a tickle all around. Tornix, too many targets to choose from, and he can't hit a single one. Vacancy, the Glock out dueling the AK, and that is not what 8sins would have wanted to kick off this round.
Doppler's got dinked as well, I mean.
And look at the positioning of Extinct.
Oh my, we got a Zeus. We got a Zeus from Artist. Bev also getting another kill. Surely not the full Glocks.
No, not like this, 8sins. Not like this, 8sins. But it does get one back. There is still a chance for the CT side. No armor for TLR. But they do have 2 rifles in 2 very capable sets of hands.
And Double almost seems like he's trapped. There's Vacancy trying to pick out an angle here. A little difficult on the roof. And he's not able to get this kill. I mean, staying alive is Dobber beautifully here as his teammate ascends above the ladders. And that's a really good recovery from 8sins.
Yeah, Dobbo with another multi-kill, 4 in the round for him. And just as it was looking like the round was going to get completely out of control, Prime and Dobbo looking in to salvage it for 8sins. They do get it over the line, but nowhere near as convincingly as they would have liked. And TLR will just see that as motivation.
And of course, Artist chipping in with the Zeus. We do love to see that. First of the series, I hope of many.
I'm always in favour of more Zeus rounds. Love me the Buzz boys.
Oh, we do love the Buzz boys. But for once, TLR on the back foot in this series. Not working with a lot utility-wise. Of course, it will be the outside smokes to create a bit of pressure here, as Prime will get one. Instantly falling to Bev though.
Yeah, but 8sins, they are regrouping, giving away control over to TLR, but as long as they hold firm when necessary, and they were looking like a little bit of re-aggression coming in here from the CTs. Needs to happen relatively quickly because TLR are aggressing themselves.
Indeed it is. This is where the mind games start to creep in for all members on the server. 8sins look to take a portion of the map away. They can confirm they're all clear.
Yeah, but it may be a false coming because look at Bev's positioning. 8sins may not be expecting this. Fraser going hunting in towards Trophy, towards Hell, is able to get the first onto Giraffe. Unsure if he saw of any other presence. Drops a defensive smoke. Vacancy, he's going back to distraction. Dobbo walking straight into the crosshairs of Bev, and now Fraser is locked in, misses the AWP shot, and Bev pounces. We said that positioning he had earlier in the round may be a false sense of safety for 8sins, and it has proven to be just that.
Yeah, and a lovely readjustment there from Bev there, keeping Fraser guessing. Just changing up the angle a little bit makes it so tough for him to get that kill on the AWP. And poor Tornix has watched all his teammates fall. He's got no real stake in this round, so he'll hold on to dear life of this M4. As TLR look to make this T side a competitive one.
Yeah, but the save weapon's going to be very important here. Keep the economy of the CTs under control. Need some utility to work with as well, so you know, every little helps.
Every little helps, you're not wrong.
But yeah, 8sins time in front lasted only a single round. TLR with the opportunity to re-establish control.
For the sake of the game, I hope that's not the only time we do see them in the lead. Of course, being on the defense, we expect a lot from the CT side on Nuke.
Yeah, we do want a competitive series. 8sins and TLR. These two teams have provided that in spades in the past. Artist going for a very aggressive duel outside. Vacancy trying to cross down in towards Secret is cut down by Fraser. No AWP for him this round, operating with that M4. And once again, TLR grouping up for a little bit of pressure. Dobbo sees the utility flying in. Able to tuck himself away. Deploys a defensive ramp smoke. Does have the support of Fraser as well. But 8sins, they seem very unnerved. They're so worried about the positioning that TLR could find themselves in.
Yeah, they're holding on to the positions here. Waiting for a hit that could come at any moment. And there it is. There's that opener from Giraffe. Artist Orb looking to strike from Hut. And again, another rare whiff, but his teammates are making up for it. Bev and Giraffe getting the kills that they need as one of them dives down into the vents here. Almost a fake, but what a readjustment from Giraffe. How the hell is he getting that one? It's a 2-on-1. Dobber watching on. What is going on?
Yeah, great shot out of Giraffe. I thought he'd made a mistake coming back up the vent, but proving me wrong instantly. But it's still Dobbo going to be alive. The shining light for this 8sins roster.
He detonated himself! Not like this! Artist put in the 1v1. Giraffe making a fool of himself. So it's going to be on the captain here to rectify this round for his team. Dobbo going for the fake. Artist shooting through the smoke. It's going to be very nervy, this 1v1. Dobbo creeping around. His ring around the Rosie here through the smoke. He can't seem to find him. And Artist, can he get the kill? No, he can't.
Oh, a flash out.
Where is he going?
Trying to escape. For the time,
Oh
this is
my
going to be
word.
close. This is going to be close, but I think Dobbo might just
Does he have it?
Yes. Artist almost doing enough there, staying alive as long as he did. But Dobbo said he was going to need to be a hero, and he absolutely was. But I mean, Giraffe did help him out a little bit.
Felt like I was on the server there for a second. My heart was beating too much. That's not how you want to lose that if you're 8sins. Giraffe. Lovely shots from him. I do agree with you. Him diving back up the vents. Thought it was going to be a big mistake, but that readjustment on the player on Hot, that was pristine stuff.
Yeah,
Cheeky from
3
Artist.
HP on Dobbo. He just can't quite be killed right now. Sitting 12-4 right now. Add that to the very strong performance we saw from him on the overpass. He is very much in the hunt for that MVP. But it'd be much more easier to make that decision if 8sins are able to even claw away a map like Nuke.
Yeah, I'm sure Artisto stays composed at any time. There's vacancy once again. Besting Tornex, he's not having the best of times, but this A side still looks to hold on strong. Extinct and Artist coming out of the vent, and out of Hut, sorry, is Dobbo again last alive. And this is a real tough one, but you do got 2 players on low HP.
Yeah, similar situation to the last round. But I don't think TLR are going to make any silly mistakes this time. Artist spots Dobbo out and takes him down. So TLR do get another 1-2 there, tally. We're tied up once again. There's a little bit of ping-pong CS right now. Back and forth, which you have to say, on a map like Nuke, does definitely favor TLR.
I feel like this was the action that we were missing on map 1. I feel like we're getting it served double here on Nuke. But I do like how Artist does keep on the pressure no matter what. And I feel like that's his one strength as an IGL. He knows when to smell weakness and he knows how to abuse it.
Yeah, they've come into this with a game plan. 8sins, they've come into this with not very much at all.
No. It's a bit of a rough one, but again, we've already seen miracles happen with such little.
Yeah, this is going to be a scary sight. Talk about lying in wait. Giraffe going aggressive, and it's actually going to be Artist to get the kill. Ramp has fallen. Fraser trying to chime in with something, but the util forces him away from the angle. B-site has been completely compromised. Prime is able to get one on the flank, but that is all he's going to get. And now in a 2 versus 4, 8sins. The option, realistically, is just try and take some guns away, but Tornex needed to convert that kill right there. Vacancy now very aware of where you are, and Bev and Extinct will mop up TLR back in front.
It's almost the yin and yang, Artist knowing when to speed it up and when to play it, so that patience waiting for the ramp smoke. It's just a bit of a precaution. Someone playing close, they run through that and they all die. They look like fools, but I like how they hold out. Just wait a little bit, get that kill, and they just snowball on through to ramp.
Yeah,
get the round done.
And as short as that T-side for TLR was on overpass, we saw even glimpses of that in that map. As said, they were slowing the rounds right down, and then that quick change of pace completely caught 8sins off guard. And that is something that Artist is able to manipulate to his advantage very well with his calling. And 8sins, we thought they had little to work with in the previous round. This one might be in Kettering Town Centre begging for some change.
I'm not even sure that could help them out in this one. So once again, going back to all reliable here, the AK should be able to make mincemeat of these pistols, which they do. Top and Prime. Can they make something happen? More than likely not. Double getting one. It's a good consolation. He's able to get the hell out of there as well. He's again having a very good half, 13-6. Despite the round tally, he's continuing his good performance. And another dink onto Artist. Not a kill, sadly, but you're working with so little. We weren't expecting too much, were we?
Yeah, Dobbo is looking incredibly sharp, but the rest of 8sins need to match that sort of performance. They need to up their game to be able to perform alongside him. I think we've seen very quiet series from the likes of Tornek, someone brought in with a lot of expectation. We do need to see him up his game to try and match if 8sins really want to take this game by the scruff of the neck.
Absolutely. This is, of course, a team game. Everybody needs to lift their own weights on the server. Of course, having somebody being able to pop off does help out, but we do need to see everybody having their moment. It's been a decent half of CS so far, hasn't it? I think compared to the first map, which was a little bit one-sided, I think it was a clear-cut definition that TLR really were going to just stay in the lead. This one has a mixture of both.
Yeah, 8sins were feigning a bit of a comeback back on Overpass, but Nuke has been a much more competitive affair thus far, but we do have to remember the CT side is the stronger side, and the T side of TLR are still guaranteed not to lose it. 6 on the board already, 2 rounds left to play of the half. A very aggressive play coming out from TLR. A lot of map control been taken very early on. Extinct catching Tornex out, completely unaware, but Dobbo once again still lurking around. Prime lurking through the smoke as well, cutting down Extinct. Giraffe is there with the pick onto Fraser. AWP with no impact in this one.
Yeah, 8sins at the panic stations now on the rotations down. Artist trained onto ramp. He's got his teammates covered as they look to get the bomb down.
Yeah, Shadow spotted as well. He's aware of the presence. He's just not quite sure how many. Chunky HE damage. U2 coming out here from the CTs. They begin their scale out. Tapal gets it open onto Giraffe, but Artist replies with one of his own. And missed shot gives a second opportunity though. Flash. Fuser off the bomb. Prime goes down with nothing. It's going to have to be Dobbo once again. 1 versus 2. 1 kill to his name. Unfortunately, the whereabouts of TLR completely eluding him. And the T side move up to 7.
Yeah, they come to the league of their own here in the last couple of rounds on the T side. And this is the 8sins that we really didn't want to see on the CT side. This was going to be their chance to really show us what they had. And the fact they're on the back foot here, I'm not losing hope just yet. Of course, as you said, the game can flip on its head, but the fact that it's only really Dobbo that we're seeing putting up numbers and nobody else supporting it's a bit of a rough sight to see, and I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, Dobbo sitting on 14 kills right now. The next player on his team has a measly 5 across the server. You're looking at nice and Bev and Vacancy both on double digits. Artist and Giraffe not far away themselves. Prime kind of for a very interesting play here.
At some point, you got to throw something in there. Throw something and hopefully it sticks.
Yeah, and now the AU2 coming in here from TLR. Prime coming up straight from the vent. That auto shotgun will take down Bev. Trades relatively even thus far, but Tadpole swinging it in the favor of 8sins. It's all going to be on Artist. Picks off the first. That is Dobbo. Prime and Tadpole lesser weapons.
I mean, the reload would have been heard. Artist definitely would have heard Prime nearby. But you got to imagine, this is going to be such a tough for him. Oh, this is very sneaky.
He's not going to be expecting this positioning. No chance.
And the fact that he's cut all sound. Where could Artist be? There he strikes. He gets the first as he ducks back to reposition here. Prime with the shotgun still in hand. This is Artist to win here.
Yeah, Artist quick switches away from the AWP. Knows he has to keep Prime at range. I think it's more a case of not wanting to give Prime that M4 that was dropped. Not primarily an AWP. So, has to make do with what he's got.
This is the mind games. Where has Artist gone? Prime going to be guessing himself here.
20 seconds on the clock. The bomb has been dropped. Prime makes noise with
Makes
this
the first
now.
move.
Artist charging him down, and the M4 besting the XM. Artist, that 1 versus 3, masterful. And 8sins, it's just falling away from them right now.
That's a round you got to win. I mean, Prime doing all the work as well at the start. Couldn't finish it though, but I love how sneaky Artist is with the AWP. I mean, playing it like a shotgun, to be fair to him as well. Just playing so sneaky and knowing when to retreat and when to take the fights, and quick switching as well to the M4, knowing that he can get the job done with it as well. As I said, Where's the weakness on this man?
Yeah, and very quick thinking as well, seeing that one player had been boosted up into the rafters. That gave away the position of Prime, knowing he had to be on top of Hut. So Artist cutting that line of sight instantly to try and stay alive as long as possible. Very smart play there from Mr. Clark. And now this is a massive change of pace coming out from 8sins, but unfortunately that change of pace has just led to an early grave, complete and utter bloodbath over towards ramp.
Well, it's no vacancy ace, but it might as well be the same feeling because they all got demolished on ramp, and I feel like we're seeing the final cinders of the flame that 8sins have slowly fade away, as this will be one of the toughest comebacks, I think, in Epic Land.
Yeah, 8sins just have not been at the races today, unfortunately. TLR looking to break that lower bracket curse, that trend we've seen as of late.
Brutal.
It's one of the most dominant displays we've seen in the history of the competition. 8sins, once again, they look like they want to just keep TLR under pressure. Prime going out instantly with that kill onto Extinct. Tadpole picking up Bev as well. The Pistol's actually going to do this. Artist switches to one of his own to take down Fraser, but it's still a 2 versus 2, making it a 2 versus 1. Tadpole picking off vacancy. Once again, the pressure lies with Mr. Clark.
And surely he doesn't do it again, right? As he dives through the smoke, trying to catch a lucky spray. He does actually readjust onto Prime, and surely he doesn't do it again.
One bullet either way. That's all it's going to take, and it's going to be Tadpole to do it. 8sins instant response. And all the high of the previous round for TLR has fizzled away. They do still have an advantage, but 8sins with a prime opportunity to close that down.
I have to say, you might as well just use pistols, 8sins. I mean, they work it like a treat. Catching it, TLR napping on the A side. And once again, they let it all onto Artist, and he nearly does it again. And at some point, they have to best him. And thankfully, they do in that one. But again, it's such a long road back. Oh, and look what he's bringing out now. Might as well.
Might as well farm yourself up some cash for that AWP.
Bit of deja vu from the previous.
Yeah, but they're doing a good job of avoiding him. A-site falling with ease. The superior weapons are just that, absolutely superior. Giraffe and Artist, 2 versus 5. There is low HP on Prime, but I don't think that's going to matter too much in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some crazy rounds in CS. I don't think we're going to be seeing these two pull off a miracle, sadly, on this one. But as you mentioned, maybe some money to be farmed. Artists will definitely be sticking around. But this is at least good for the confidence of 8sins. If all 5 members can stay alive, a bit of money can start being built up. And it doesn't seem too tedious, the scoreline. They will be only 3 rounds behind.
Yeah, and crucially, TLR likely not to have the funds to purchase into the next one, so they can close that gap even further. Artist is going to preserve the surprise weapon for another day. As you mentioned, 3-round game.
3-round game.
It's still possible.
T-side nuke.
Yeah, my main concern right now for 8sins, however, is the fact that they've been just trying to catch out TLR on this T side thus far. It's been very fast, very forward, very in your face. Once TLR have everything they want at their disposal, how is Fraser going to be able to adjust these calls in order to manipulate the game to his desire? Because you can't just rush A every round.
No, you cannot. And I feel like TLR are the kings of patience, and they let 8sins walk into their own mistakes. So you make a very good point. At what point do they try and switch it up? They can't only have one strategy in mind, but, well, clearly not, because they're going to run it back, but this time in it, Artist, max 7, switching over to the AK. At least Prime is able to trade that. They find themselves an empty bomb site. Clearly these pops are working.
Yeah, well, they won't change the game plan up just yet then. So, yeah. So Artist, that max 7 kill does let him a little bit of funds for future investment, and probably towards an AWP in later rounds. Fraser will pick off Extinct, but I think these pistols, they're just going to try and play for exits, see what they can get away with, pick up a dropped weapon, maybe just sort that CT economy out a little bit.
I'm sure heading into the next one, Artist is not going to be wanted to be bested thrice on the A side, so I'm sure he'll have some countermeasures in place to make sure that we won't only just see A rushes on this map.
Yeah, we'll see a bit of a change-up from 8sins almost certainly, if they're even able to preserve these weapons. Bev lying in wait, spamming with the USP, takes Prime down to lone HP, he goes down with the bomb, so that is a small reinvestment. I believe the AK was just recovered at the end though, so disaster mostly averted there for 8sins.
Just like that, it's a 2-round game, so it doesn't seem all too implausible that we could be looking at a tie game, but this will be the true test now for 8sins. First gun round here on the T side. An Artist, what does he have planned for us? Because for now, he's been calling an excellent game, and not just that, he's been playing it excellently as well. Tied at the top of the leaderboard with Bev.
Yeah, and 8sins finally putting an end to that A-rush pattern that we've seen, and unfortunately it seems to not be working for them very early on in this one. Tornex picked off the outside look, dealt with. Heavy pressure over towards ramp now. Bev completely blinded by the flashback, jumping across as Tapol.
Good damage.
Taken down. And Fraser will deal with Bev, so we are in a 3 versus 3, but look at the HP on the side of 8sins. The damage has been dealt, and Extinct is lying in wait. Perfect opportunity for him to farm up some cash. He's letting them all pass. The discipline from Extinct is only good for one. Dobbo there once again, trying to wrestle 8sins back into this. He's got it into the 1 versus 1.
And with a minute on the clock, the minds are going to be ticking for both players here.
He's got time to work with. The double door is closed. He can recover that bomb.
But he has been left wounded, so he's being very precautious, very careful with his movements. But so is Vacancy, and he strikes at the right time. TLR and that little small streak that 8sins start to build up. And maybe that A site seems to be their only destination where they can get the job done.
Yeah, but I think TLR are going to be aware of that. Like, you can't just keep rushing A. 8sins do need to adjust their calling. And Fraser needs to come up with a game plan. You can see him talking away. Full rifles for the T side. So probably arguably even a better buy than what the Last Resort have to offer. Last Resort, knowing they have the disadvantage, they are going to take some aggressive map control, but Tornex is going to pick off Extinct for the opening kill.
That's a crucial one for him. That's only his 7th kill in this game, so probably this is a springboard. That's a good coverage there from Dobbo, holding on to the back lines from Bev. Giraffe. He's left in an uncomfortable spot, isn't he?
Yeah, he just has to lie in wait and hope he finds a turn back. Bomb is now going down. This is a very difficult position for Giraffe to be in, and I think he knows it, backing away. So, unless we see a big misplay out of 8sins, I think they'll be bringing that gap back down to 2.
And again, it's hitting that 8 site where they got the job done. I feel I want to keep bringing it up, but it just seems like they have most fortune there.
Yeah, so what's working for them is hit A fast or hit A slow.
Yes. It always ends with A.
They failed English, didn't they? They don't know past A.
Clearly.
We're of course just being silly. These are very smart players, so.
Of course. Better than us. And I don't think we need to give any evidence for that.
So what did you get in mathematics in the end?
Oh dear, we're not going to be bringing up that meme again. Some wise words from a wise man.
Yeah, and TLR are going to need some wise words coming out from Artis here. Because while they do still have the advantage, they can't allow 8sins to build even further into this game.
And victory is in sight. They're near the finish line. 3 rounds to end this best of 3 and 2, which I know is what nobody wants here in the arena and at home.
Yeah, but TLR not a lot to work with in this one. They're going to have to play extremely defensively. And 8sins are just being gifted map control. Extinct. Lying in wait. Ooh, caught out by Tornex. Going a little bit too aggressive there. That has opened avenue over towards the B site for the T side.
Yeah, it is good to see Fraser call a different style of round here. For now, it has seemed to paid off.
Yeah, TLR completely out of position. Giraffe still with that save weapon. I feel it's the only thing that could get TLR back into this, but I think it would be better saved off and brought into the next. Let the pistols play for some exits. Dobbo going to be under pressure here. Artist playing around with the ladder. Oh, he's trying to get Dobbo on the timing, but Dobbo's just ready for it. Dobbo's determined to keep hold of this AK-47, and he's also now got possession of that M4. So crucially, that is something that will not be carried over into the next 4 TLR. It's all on Bev to try and gather a weapon, but instead he's just going to lose his life. Tornex finishes him off, and it is now back down to a one-round game. Potential for map 3 on the horizon, but 8sins still are behind and do need to close it out.
And if there's one man who doesn't want this game done, it's Dobbo. And he deserves, I mean, if there's anybody who deserves for this map to keep going on for somebody, it's him.
Yeah,
He's been putting in such a good work.
Yeah, just crossed over the 20 kill mark here on Nuke. Did the same back on Overpass. We keep saying he's been the one that 8sins have been reliant on. And we have seen a step up in performances from other members of this 8sins roster here on Nuke, particularly looking at the likes of Tadpole and Prime. Vast improvements from what we saw on Overpass. But there's still a couple of inconsistencies that they're going to need to iron out. Tadpole's was cool just to talk things through, work out exactly how both teams are going to close this one out.
I mean, this has been a significant improvement from Overpass. Makes you wonder what went wrong on their pick, but they're doing it on their opponent's pick now. As you mentioned, one-round game. This map has suited their needs. This round is another challenge that they'll have to face with Tornex finding a nice kill, a crucial kill, in fact, onto Artis to get this round kicked off.
Yeah, still Giraffe lurking around though, and he has pounced with that kill onto Tadpole. We'll know that's not going to be Tornex, but can't adjust in time. Xthink trying to take an elevated position, does spot out the retreating Dane, but no kill. But the kill happens on the other side of the map. Bev going down at the hands of that man, Dobbo, once again. B site completely compromised. There you can see a lot of pressure on his shoulders in this situation. Dobbo lurking his way through as well. This is going to be a head-to-head happening very soon, but they pass like ships in the night. But you can see he's going to want to try and find an upgrade to this SMG, but no opportunity is going to present itself. He is going to get out of there, and 8sins will be tying us up here. 10 rounds apiece, both teams on double digits. That is a weapon upgrade available. So TLR, despite losing the round, losses have been mitigated as long as they can remain alive for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say with Overpass, it was a very rigid Overpass from 8sins. It seemed like, I don't know, they very much stuck to the game plan and there was no free call-in on that map, but here it's very free-flowing. They're having a lot more enjoyment, they're having a lot more exciting times, and just more freedom to get their picks, and they're working the map beautifully. I don't know if it's just like there's less pressure on their shoulders now. It means it could be the final map, of course, so we'll just give it our all, which is what we would have wanted to see on the first map. So the fact that they're at least waking up now, it's a good sign, but at the same time, could it be too late?
It could be too late. Obviously, these are two very specialist maps, two maps very reliant on the calling of the IGL, and Fraser has stepped up his game massively here on Nuke. Maybe not from a fragging point of view, but definitely in the calling department. Whereas Artist, we were highlighting him earlier on in that first half, but he has slowed down quite significantly. The drop-off has been felt, and TLR have been bleeding rounds as a result, but Extinct is going to step up in his place. Tadpole does eventually dispatch of him, but the advantage is already with the last resort, even with some of these lesser weapons. Vacancy tucking in, and 8sins are going to retreat. They don't think that's going to be a great idea to go in towards there, and this duel is going to come down to timing.
Timing seeming to be the name of the game once again in Beve. Actually flying there, getting that kill into Prime, the MP9, always on the move, and always such a nuisance. They really need to get that kill back onto him, and it does look like Tapper will catch him napping. Puts it into 3-on-2. This is recoverable.
Very much so. And if there's two players you'd want alive on this 8sins roster, it would be Dobbo and Tadpole. Both have been having very strong games. Just trying to reclaim some map control, but Tadpole is going to take it away from him once again. Dobbo beginning put a little bit of pressure. He's going to call site clear, and Tadpole can get that bomb down. The jig is up. The last resort. No, they've gambled wrong. And now it's up to them. Do they choose to attempt this retake? They do have the kit on Vacancy.
10-10, you want to keep the scoreline competitive, so it does look like they might go for it. I mean, Vacancy switching gun.
Yeah, Yeah, Giraffe's got himself into a much more comfortable position. Vacancy, this is going to be the duel that could decide it. Bobo going down with nothing.
Tapo for the ace.
Yeah, Giraffe, just a snapping turtle in hand, and the side tool will bite his head off. TLR with the lesser investment, get that one back over the line. 8cents will not be taking the lead this time out.
And it just seems when hope is presented to them, TLR just snatch it away right at the last grasp. Tadpole on for the ace, and it's just stolen away from him, like seeing candy from a baby. It's so sad to see. And man, only 2 rounds now separate TLR and winning this series in 2. It's always the lesser buys. Oh, that's frustration.
Yeah, the frustration, all that momentum has dissipated. But 8cents, they do still have a very strong buy into this one. TLR will match them with a near identical one.
But it's been a while since I've seen a nuke for TLR be this competitive, so 8cents are really making them run their miles.
Yeah, they've done their homework. They know what they're up against.
As the saying goes, nobody remembers second place. So
yeah, a chance for these players to etch their name in history. It would be a first Epic Land victory for 3 of the 8cents players. The last resort. The likes of Artist and Extinct, it would just be extending their records. But Prime, he wants revenge for EPIC47. A double entry onto this A bomb site does eventually get dispatched off by Extinct, however. A double kill in return. And Fraser's locked out. Not a lot he can do from this position. Bomb is down on that A site. And last resort. They can lock this down. They've spotted out at the back of the site. Missed shot out of Fraser. That could prove costly. And Extinct with a double kill. On for the ace. Artist alongside him. And Artist will steal it away. But I don't think they're going to care. Because they're on to map point. They're on to series point. They are on to championship point.
You know, it seemed like desperation running back that A-pop that we've seen time and time again, and it almost seemed like it was going to work. Prime with the level double entry, but Extinct going into the shadows. Where did he go? And he comes out at that last second with 2 kills, and even 2 more at the end. I mean, he was on for the ace. Their Artist stealing that away, but at this point, I don't even think he cares. He wants this series done, dusted, right here and right now.
Yeah, he's had a lot of aces in his career. I don't think he'll mind this one going amiss. But for 8cents, backs against the wall. It has to be the all-in investment.
And it looks like the 9 a.m. win streak for the team that plays in the morning might be ending.
Yeah, well, as mentioned earlier, this has been one of the most dominant performances we've seen from a team at an Epic Land, the last resort, cruising to this stage. 8cents have put up a hell of a fight, as did Control in the upper final. But as we've said multiple times, Artist is inevitable. There is still time for that to change. But that window is closing. It needs to be now for 8cents. Slowing it right down. They're going to try and prolong this as much as possible. On last resort, can't afford to lose their nerve. They know what's on the line.
TLR knows 8cents needs to make the move, which they have done so now. Giraffe reacting off that.
Yeah, they're fully aware of this. See them stacking the B-holes, and Extinct is going to draw first blood to get himself a double as well. Giraffe adding a third to that. Dobbo and Fraser, the fragger and the leader. It has to be them. Dobbo gets that kill onto Vacancy inside a mini, continuing his rampage. But guess who's over there and waiting for him? It would need to be Dobbo. It has to be Dobbo. But instead, Artist adds another one. TLR are your EPIC47 victors.
And it seems fate cannot be bested today. 8cents, they put up a very good fight on that second map, but I know they themselves will be disappointed with how this series even started off. But this is a very special win, of course. Their first ever Epic Land victory for this organization, TLR. They're going to be very happy with their performance, and hopefully this could be the springboard that they need to go out into the international scene and prove themselves there as well.
Yeah, obviously the VRS points that have been on offer here at Epic Land for the past few iterations have really helped some of the UK teams get themselves little tournament invites, close qualifiers. Last resort, this is their chance to capitalize on that, go on to bigger and better things. Epic, a great launching pad. But yes, here and now, they don't need to worry about that. They can celebrate and they can enjoy it all.
Yeah, and it's good to see the signs of respect there. I mean, it was a very good match there at the end, but Why are we not surprised? It's Artists at best 8sins once again, so they will keep going hunting for that Epic Land trophy. But sadly, that's not today.
Yeah, commiserations to 8sins indeed. So, they're so desperate to get this trophy. The roster they've tried to put together, they knew it has the capability to take down TLR, but once again today they have just come up a little bit short.
Indeed, they do. And we'll be throwing it away to our lovely hosts on stage. Rhino and Felix are there waiting for you.
Thank you so much, Shin and One Wing. Fantastic cast on the final. And it ended up being a 2-0 for the last resort. But you have to say, Felix, 8sins put in one hell of a show, specifically Dobbo.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a great showing from 8sins. Playing some great CS, especially on Nuke, and standout performance from Dobbo. Really competing to be the best junior player at the tournament. But some things never change, I guess. Artist claiming the crown once again.
We called him the final boss. We called him the raid boss. He just seems unbeatable on the Epic stage. But he was definitely helped out by some performances from his own teammates, and we'll have a talk to them in just a moment. But can you pick out some other players from TLR that you were particularly impressed by?
Everyone playing really solid. I saw some nice rounds from Giraffe in there. Sting's popping off too. I mean, yeah, everyone was playing incredibly solid on TLR, and I guess you kind of need that for the 2-0 result right there. I enjoyed every round of the map.
Absolutely. Well, I believe we have an interview that we need to get to. So if we could get Artists to the stage, please. Thank you very much. Come right here, right in the middle. This, as you should be, center stage. Let's start with that ends to Nuke. It was an 8-4 half at the half. You guys had won 8 rounds on T side, feeling pretty good. What happened on that CT side that maybe brought things back into 8sins' favor?
I think them just taking A like really fast in the first time. Timing's kind of not something we're used to. Once we kind of figured out like kind of how we want to play, we just kind of closed out the game. But
yeah.
they definitely kind of surprised us.
You absolutely adapted, certainly, and were able to take it through in the end. Let's go back to Overpass as well, 8sins pick. Were you confident going into that map with your own abilities?
Yeah, recently our Overpass has been quite good. I was kind of surprised that they picked it. So kind of a bit of throw off. We didn't have any prep going into that map because we didn't think they were going to pick it. But overall, we have a pretty comfortable CT side, so we just backed ourselves.
Yeah, you're obviously a stalwart of the Epic LAN main stage. You know how this feels. You know how these winner interviews feel. Does it ever get old?
One never gets old, no.
Good, as well it should. I mean, I also want to say, do you want to give any shout-outs, any shout-outs to your teammates?
Yeah, I think
or the
Mason,
team?
their vacancy, played really good the entire game. Like, I think the entire Epic, this was really good. He stepped up immensely. I think Calm as well on our CT side, he's doing our calling now. I think he's stepped up as well. So, yeah, but I think everyone played really, really good.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Everyone across both teams played really well in that grand final. But there can only be one Logitech Super Strike MVP chosen by our talent team. And that is yourself, Artist. And you take home the Logitech Pro X2 Super Strike mouse as given to you by... Oh, wanted to keep it for himself.
Oh, what a mouse. Wow.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Yeah, if you could do a little bit more posing as well, yeah, that would be great. Perfect.
Right beside the trophy.
Yeah, absolutely right. Let's bring the teammates in then. And let's get you all around the trophy because this is what everybody came to see. Everybody here at Epic LAN 47, we are just about to shut down everything backstage. But it's time to give credit to your final champions of Epic 47, the last resort! Congratulations, guys. Absolutely incredible scenes. Right, Felix, we've got a couple of thank yous to give. Just before we do, I'd like to hear your final thoughts on the CS2 event.
Yep, it's been an amazing weekend. Some high-level CS being played throughout. I hope everyone who came here found it worthwhile and got to experience the beauty that is UK CS.
And it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Right, we've got to make some thank yous because we are going to shut this one down now. So, of course, thank you to everybody at EPIC47 and the event management team. We really couldn't do this without you. The security team, Kettering Leisure Village, the volunteer staff, all of you guys put in so much work, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Overclockers UK for partnering with our event. We simply wouldn't be able to do half the stuff that we do without the support of our partners. We can't give thank yous without thanking the production teams and casting teams for all 4 of our esports across the weekend. Osu, StarCraft 2, Valorant, and Counter-Strike 2. You all make Epic what it is. Thank you so much. We also have our main stage production team and management behind the scenes, behind this massive screen behind me. They do a fantastic job, and on all of the lighting as well. Thank you to my fellow hosts, including Felix, for this CS final, but as well as Quino and Nebula and anybody else who took to the main stage.
You did very good too, Rhino.
Oh, Felix, you're very kind. Thank you so much. It's not easy to be on this stage, so anybody who's made it up here in the last 4 days, thank you so much. To the community who continue to be the lifeblood of Epic. We thank all of you. You've seen some of them on main stage. The community tournament is so much fun. Thank you to the players, a couple of which you can see right now, but everybody behind that screen to our left is doing something fantastic. And again, they make Epic what it is. And last but not least, thank you, all of the viewers at home, for watching our streams across the last 4 days. We will be back in July the 16th to the 19th of July. Tickets for EPIC48 are on sale right now. Make sure you head over to our website and get those tickets. But there's not too much else to say. Thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations one more time to TLR, our CS2 champions. We'll see you in July. Good job.
Wasn't much analysis, but
Didn't need to be.
just get the job done. Some stages, let you shine.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm saving you to save me, my baby. Cut and loose just can't be the remedy. Oh no, what we did before, we won't do again this time around. I need you more and more, so I won't ever let you down. This time, I know we'll get it right. This time, I know we'll get it right. Oh baby, this time we'll get it right. 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 We won't repeat the mistakes, the heartache. No, I do believe when we say that we've changed. Oh yeah, what we did before, we won't do again this time around. I need you more and more, so I won't ever let you down. This time, I know we'll get it right. This time, I know we'll get it right. Oh baby, this time we'll get it right. 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 stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me? We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt, though the sun has almost set. Make the most of it. I know we will dance and sing. There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. Music in the streets, we're moving to the beat. There's something in the air that makes the city come alive. A breeze that makes you high. We'll be up till late tonight. Love gets another chance. Pretty people holding hands, uplifted by the night. The way that it should be, can let it slip away. 'Cause this might be our final summer day.
Can we get all crew to the main stage for a crew photo, please? That's all Epic crew to the main stage for a crew photo. Thank you.